To a show.
Ronnie B in studio today. We're very happy to have him.
Well, Friday.
Yeah.
Well, 50 years they have to be.
Yeah, you got it.
You got to celebrate the big day with us. Bobby Lee. Wow, Bobby Lee's coming back today?
Is he?
He's a nut job.
He's a little kooky.
Hilarious, but
Bobby
he's
Lee.
a nut job.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No. I was to say this is a big thing happening, a big JFK thing.
Yeah.
Right, talking about the conspiracy.
What's that?
It's going on at the Borgata for Valentine's Day weekend, and tickets go on sale for it at 10 a.m. today.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's a big JFK thing. There's supposed to be some kind of reveal. So if you're into that stuff, buy tickets. It's under my
Right.
name. Yeah,
That sounds cool.
I got something, too. I got to awkwardly say hi to John from Time Warner Cable.
Oh, we were bashing Time Warner yesterday?
Kinda.
Oh, what
I don't know if we
oh.
were bashing.
Oh, no, that was a sound.
No, I don't think we were
was a
bashing Time
verbal
Warner
rape.
Cable.
Right. What happened?
Well, I can tell you this much: I'm all in with Time Warner Cable.
Oh, Jesus
you're not
Christ.
gonna. You're not
They
gonna.
got to him.
He got to him.
You're not gonna see me get files anytime soon.
You fell asleep next to the pod.
The phone rang yesterday, and my wife goes, "It's Time Warner Cable." I'm like, "What the fuck? What? They want a fucking survey about the work they did in our apartment
Give
yesterday?"
them a piece of my mind.
And he goes, "I just would like to talk to your husband." And I get on the phone, and he goes, "I heard you on the radio this morning."
Oh, boy.
And this is what we're going to do for you. And the laundry list of what they did for me.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, boy. To the people out there, you need a radio show because, man, cable could be really cheap.
Oh,
It could be really cheap.
Oh, again, the haves get
Sure.
stuff. The have-nots just still language.
And then, and through the phone call, I'm like, well, this is kind of awkward. I go, did it sound really bad? And he's like, not really, no. And I go, you're a fan, right? He goes, yeah. And then I was asking if I could do anything for him, considering he's a fan. And I could tell he wanted to say yes, but obviously the phone call was being recorded. So he's like, no, just if you want, you can mention me on the radio tomorrow to, make sure people know that we did right by you. Boy, did they do right by me. I don't know if I'm...
If they would have done right by you, they would have said, we're canceling and giving you Fios. That would have been doing right by you. I've had horrendous experiences.
Fuck Fios. All in with Time Warner Cable and the Samsung Galaxy.
My building's going to go color in 2 weeks. We're all talking about it.
Good for
Yes.
you, Rob.
Time
That's
Warner.
nice.
Good for
Time
you.
Warner. Bringing
There's-
color to the Upper East Side.
A bunch of aerials on the roof. But maybe you have to adjust the aerial.
But those rants, you realize that, well, I guess people do listen to these stupid rants of ours.
Oh, man. I got a call the other day from when I was driving home, and this guy goes, you ordered a lens from us, and there's like a 4-week wait on this lens. It's a very popular lens, and do you want me to put the order through, or you want to cancel it or something like that? I'm like, nah, just put the order through, because that was like the 5th place I went to. And he's like, okay, well, now that you said that, and you're putting the order through, I just want to tell you I'm a fan of the show, and,
Oh, wow. So it should have been a week.
well,
The fuck?
Here's how that worked out.
Oh, okay.
The very next day, I get an email that says it will be delivered to you tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
He probably couldn't say that because it's the greatest. That phone call is being recorded.
Radio.
And he shows up on your fucking...
Just having a radio show.
He shows up on your doorstep, asks you for an autograph, and says, "You're dead, fucker."
You're dead, fucker. That's fantastic.
I was embarrassed by all the stuff he gave me yesterday. I'm all in with Time Warner Cable. No complaints here.
It's so
My
great
cable
being
boxes
a
are being-
minuscule celebrity.
They're being switched out today for the brand spanking new ones.
Oh, they're giving you new cable boxes.
He explained that there's some kind of law where they can't give brand new boxes to every customer or something for whatever
What kind
reason.
of law?
Yeah,
Who made
I
that?
don't know.
Time Warner made
Exactly.
their own law.
You think Cuomo fought for that?
Yeah. No new cable. No new cable boxes. Read my lips.
Then he noticed channels I didn't have that are good for kids
Uh-oh.
and sports packages good for me.
You throw those in?
I'm all in, man.
Oh,
this
my
guy
God.
took care of me. And I was completely embarrassed. Because I know what I said yesterday.
You were right.
I know what I said. I'm like, I hope it didn't sound too harsh. We pump things up for the radio show. I don't really mean all that stuff I said.
Meanwhile, exactly, you did.
Did you mean all the bad things you said about Time Warner?
I fucking hate Time Warner Cable.
Wait a minute.
Oh, it's terrible.
Hold on a minute. I got the guy's number for real, and he goes, if Anthony, if he wants to talk, give him my number, because he goes, I know his place in Manhattan that has Time Warner Cable.
It certainly does. And maybe next time I go, the box will be rebooted by then.
Oh, you need a new box for that.
Maybe that's it.
You want his
Maybe
number?
my Wi-Fi will work.
You want his
I understand
number?
it's a giant apartment that I have, but the Wi-Fi should work in the entire apartment.
That's Anthony speaking. Opie loves Time Warner Cable.
Fios is where it's at.
Absolutely.
We could so be bought. It's horrible.
It only takes one little thing, doesn't it?
And you're right.
Yeah, these guys are great.
Right.
And we're dopey radio guys. This goes on all the time in Washington. Like politicians get this exact same scenario plays out for a politician. So then they're like, "Oh, I love this company."
Right.
Yeah, let me fucking push money towards them, and it's
fuck the wolves. Yeah, you can kill all the wolves you want.
Yeah, go ahead. We don't
I used
care.
to be an animal lover, but fuck it. You're giving me free cable and a fruit plate.
You know what?
Build what you want.
They set us up with live reads years ago. Once you start to figure out, I've already lied.
Yeah.
I've already lied to the public.
Yes.
Yeah, the
What was that
live
shit?
reads.
You're looking to lose weight. They used to buy every radio, and then people's livers started to fall out.
What was that? Stacker 2, I
Yeah,
remember.
Stacker 2.
Stacker 2 was a big
Stacker
one for
2?
us.
Yeah, Legal Speed.
Oh, that was great.
And they had to take a few
Stacker
ingredients
2.
out of Stacker 2.
sure, like
and then
meth.
and then they try and then they try to sell it that you didn't really need those two ingredients anyway.
Right.
Stacker 2 still rocks.
This
Meanwhile-
is better.
Yeah, it was cocaine, but it was all cut after they fixed it.
Remember Stacker 2?
Stacker 2 was huge, and people were
Huge advertisers.
Was it ephedrine or something that makes you lose the weight? That's the
Yeah,
problem.
you can't eat while you're cramped up, is what it really comes down to.
Yeah, people loved the Stacker 2. And 9 out of 10 doctors say it's perfect. No problems.
Bless you, Angel.
Thank you.
My
Thank
little
you, Jimmy.
sweetie.
Thank you,
Hope
Jim.
all's well.
Wow, E-Rock, you're reading my mind. Yeah, we used to sell the horny goat weed.
Horny goat weed.
Fuck yeah.
Thank you, E-Rock. I really was just thinking that.
I remember that.
That shit probably worked, though.
You think horny goat
Like,
Yeah,
Yo
it'd probably
Hemby
give you a
bark,
boner.
probably. Like, I'm guessing he was like a Yo
Horny goat
Hemby.
weed.
Yeah.
You know who I probably fucking sold out the most to that's really, really there's no defense
it.
for it is fucking Don King. Don King used to fly us out to fucking Vegas, set us up, and we are just like, this fight is so great.
Oh, it's going
And
to
we're
be the most
all
exciting
excited
fight.
about it.
Yeah.
You know, and it would be over in 3 rounds, and everybody be pissed, but us. No,
Right.
There was plenty there. We'd just be sitting there. Coming up in the next fight,
Right. You
fucking chicks are showing up.
You understood why so many people got fucked by Don King. We met him, once, maybe
No, a
twice?
couple times.
You were
Couple
charmed, right? Completely
Beyond charmed. As soon as
Yeah.
he entered the room, we're like, oh, fuck, he should be our agent.
Oh, yeah, sure.
You know,
I'm serious, though. That's how
know.
that shit happened with those guys.
I'm in the Tyson's book again now, where he talks about Don King and how he finally settled. Don King owed him like $100 million, and Tyson really fucked up. He filed for bankruptcy a month, and he shouldn't have. And then Don King settled for like $14 million. Tyson would physically abuse him, though. He would slap him in the face. He would beat Don King.
Really?
Yeah, Don King didn't want to go around because Mike would slap his face.
Don would.
Yeah, but you're slapping his face, and while he's taking 82 million.
no, I'm saying, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
you think you're winning, you can't beat a guy like that.
No, I think you know that he knew he was losing to him, and he just wanted to get some aggression out. Because
Right.
Don King literally is just undefeated with these guys. He fucking ripped off.
And they all hate him.
I think everybody.
They finally all hate him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Finally.
mean, there's obviously a precedent there, and everybody still falls into his under his spell.
He comes in with an American flag tie. And remember the little flags he would walk around with?
Sure.
Why, though?
Just
Why?
to trick you.
Yes, but see, that's the thing. It's like if you start to use a crucifix as a good thing.
Yeah.
You know, be like, hey, look, Jesus.
He would do that.
Look at how he was dressed when he came in.
Living in America.
He had so much flair. Look how much flair.
Yes.
Don King had huge buttons. What does that big button say on his right chest? Can he make it out? Maybe. Boy. Yeah.
It's just a pouch that he was keeping Tyson's balls in.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Charismatic guy.
he's a character.
Absolutely.
Though. I don't know how anyone falls for his hijinks anymore.
Yeah, but still,
Well,
talking
they don't
to him,
have
though.
to. He's got everything he needs.
Yeah.
Is he even working these days?
Oh, I'm sure he is. Yeah.
I
He
know
was when we interviewed him. He had something.
his
going on,
office down in Florida had the biggest American flag that you've ever seen flying out front.
Oh, really?
It was the size of a football field. So bad it's like the neighbors would bitch that the light wasn't getting to their homes.
It's blocking the sun.
It just hides behind it.
Oh,
Yes.
that's why he would fly you guys out, because you were Florida guys.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Where
he
in
is.
Florida was he?
So a
This
radio
was,
guy can be bought.
Hollywood or something, somewhere right above Miami.
Is he still there?
I don't know. You know, he seemed like he was old then. It was a long time ago.
Ronnie, recently I was trying to tell someone the U2 story with you guys.
Oh,
The trip to, was it?
the trip to Ireland.
To
yeah.
Ireland. It was, the big radio promotion that we've all done a million times and the listeners have heard,
Yeah.
win a trip to go see U2 in Ireland. And how did that go down with you guys
It literally
again?
went like this, and this is honest to God truth. And the winner is my Coke dealer. And no kidding, it was pretty much like that was the first night I was in radio.
Yeah.
We were in this fucking titty
shit.
bar. Guy comes over, and we get like a fucking quarter ounce from him for the tickets for the trip to Ireland. And
No
we're
one
like,
checked that shit.
Yeah, nobody fucking checked.
How can they check it? How could they have? Is there a way to do it?
Not back then.
You know, back then it was literally wide open because the person that you got the tickets from also brought coke in. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, no one cared.
there was no, like, you were playing records because this is a great party. You're giving stuff out because this is a great party.
As long as the Coke was fucking being poured out, no one cared.
You know what
I was
changed
always-
everything was the big corporations. Once
Right.
Clinton signed that fucking bill.
The LMA.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden
start
now you have
merging
Clear
shit.
Channel and
Right.
CBS could grow. But when it was just everybody on their own,
What was the LMA?
It was like the first kind of merger thing.
well, before that, I think you could only own one,
yeah, one of each.
one AM, one FM.
In a market.
So you basically had a lot of guys who owned radio stations that were fucking pirates instead of,
Yep.
you know.
The companies.
And
I
then they
remember
just
when
started, keeping better books. When
I remember when they
all
did
started
that.
merging.
Right. Okay.
I remember when they did that. Their selling point was, look, they're going to have to be approved. We're not going to allow this to
Right.
run fucking
God.
rampant and do that. And meanwhile, I don't think one merger was ever denied.
Right.
They put on the dog and pony show.
It's-
they'd go before Congress and have to plead their case as to why they want fucking 15 FM stations, TV stations.
And that's when radios started getting ruined.
Yeah.
Because every fucking company had a different way of doing things.
Well, yeah, because you used to program radio from each market instead of now. I'm sure there's still coke moving around, but it's just going to one guy.
One guy.
You know what I mean?
And,
I mean, really, somebody's deciding now. Lady Gaga is a star,
Right.
and Miley is a star.
Yeah.
and I used to have to knock that out market by
you
market.
gotta just jerk off one fucking guy out
Right.
there, and your artist is going to be the big hit.
So, what do you think that he gets bought off with? You know, it's something gigantic.
Sure, something that's kind of on the up and up.
But then again,
technically.
Jack FM. Who? That's amazing.
Oh, that was a good
remember
one.
that?
That's good
was
stuff.
good.
I never-
That's smart.
I was never.
It's like an iPod. It's really like a
Yeah,
really
yeah.
cool iPod.
Great, right? Instead of, just getting an iPod.
That's good stuff.
It's like someone else's iPod, really.
Yeah.
It's 80 songs, but you don't know what order you're going to hear them in.
Right. It's on shuffle.
So exciting.
I was
great.
never brave to give away the big trip. It was always just concert tickets to the local fucking arenas and shit. I guess maybe my coke heaven wasn't as bad as yours.
You know,
but all my friends got to see the Allman Brothers and Yes and whoever else came through for free.
But you worried?
A little bit, yeah.
Concerned?
A little bit.
I never had any concerns.
Because they also,
No concerns.
Were you doing drugs more than you should have?
a little more than they claim is healthy. But I wasn't the only one. So
Yeah.
you always have that to fall on.
And then the companies started buying it. So now the Betty Crocker would own a radio station, and you'd have to protect them by not having the cokehead running the fucking show. And
Or just being cooler with it and not, fucking sad. I don't think anything's changed. I just think a lot of people got cut out.
I was
Yeah.
lame. I would take the records to the local record stores, even though they were stamped property of.
Right.
At the time, it was WCMF. I fucking would take all the extra shit.
Remember Oedipus move?
Remember, well, it was the CDs that were specially made for radio stations.
Yeah.
So those were really, those were pretty rare out there for record collectors. That they loved those things. And I know of a music director that, weekly went to a certain record joint to give up what he had, and get some nice pocket money.
That was
weekly.
actually kind of in an odd way, with that being said, was considered part of your salary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you would say, the overnight guy, you're not going to get paid much, but you're going to get blown all the time. You know what I mean?
It's a perk.
No, I'm not saying they're great-looking girls. I mean, they're the kind of girls that can't sleep at 3 o'clock. But no one, you know what I mean, and thinks you're in show business.
You just knew that. You just knew that was part of your.
Yeah, that would be part of it.
So
you know?
right. You're so right.
What a business.
It was really, seriously, it was like the last great business for a while.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
A license to print money. Remember that saying? A license to print money. God, they were making fucking a shitload.
Well, there was a thing. I mean, this business has always been corrupt. And I saw this thing that back in like the early 60s, the Brill buildings, the girl groups and all that, if you went to a jukebox anywhere in the New York, New Jersey, Connecticut area, whatever, any money you put into that went directly to the mafia. There was they had the records, they played them, and no one else got any fucking money. It just went directly. A bunch of nickels were sent into those guys. So right from day one, rock and roll has been incredibly corrupt.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Right from the early things like Tommy James and the Shondells, those guys didn't get any money. They went directly to the guys. Never. None of those guys.
Yeah, the artists themselves were the last ones that ever saw money.
Yeah, I mean, they would have to do something where you would get a bag of fucking money. To this day, Chuck Berry only shows up if you give him a gym bag full of money. No fucking check. I saw him one time, like years ago, and he showed up. They had to have a band fucking playing of local guys. Chuck Berry comes in. He fucking walked out and fucking plugged in on stage with these local guys, starts playing, unplugs, put it back into the case himself, and walked out into his car.
You saw this.
This still happens today with him.
Right.
He is not going to get fucked over by any big tour, nothing like that. Give him cash, he'll plug it, but he carries his own fucking guitar on.
It's like
Do you
a
think
hitman.
do you think he hasn't been paid in the past?
Yeah, there might be that problem over the years.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, music artists with royalties and publishing, they got fucked more than anybody is musicians.
Dick Clark's name was showing up as a co-writer on fucking records. Before he would play the song, he had to be part of the deal. He had to have a production.
So he was kind of a scumbag about it.
Yeah.
What
Oh,
balls?
yeah. Dick Clark made a boatload of money off
that
of
really true?
people. Mm-hmm. Publishing.
All the shit that Alan Freed went down for, Dick Clark was doing the same shit from word go. All those guys were in it.
When did Alan Freed actually go?
It was like, what, mid-60s, I guess, by the time they got to him?
It was 50 years ago today.
50 years ago, this very day.
It's on the back page of the paper.
It was
I got here.
November 23rd of...
Yeah.
Payola.
This is really a weird thing because...
Hold on. What was the Freed thing? What did they bust him for again?
The same kind of
But
thing.
payola, but what was the actual...
But because of he's double dipping, that he would be paid when the record plays, paid at the gig, paid on the radio to play the record. Then he's booking shows, and the same shows he's part of the production arm of, you know?
And they finally said enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was greedy.
Yeah, no one is going to let little Anthony fucking get any money. He's running around singing all his ass off.
They realized there was power in the fact that you could spin a record, put it in heavy rotation, and make a hit. And once you had a hit song, people wanted to see the band. They became popular. And if you invested in that band and their tours and their records, and you were going to be rich. You could make your own money machine and then, attach yourself to it.
No, weirdly, now today we call that Live Nation. You know what I mean?
Right. That's now Live Nation.
They're involved in it, but they also cut the government in, you know?
Right. Yeah.
But back then it was just regular guys hustling. Hey, kids, this is a great record for you. Stop going out at the Hop. And they're just getting paid at each spot. But this is another weird thing about Kennedy dying. It's that day that he died. The fucking almost that day, they're booking the Beatles to come to New York City. So literally everything is changing, and everything that was around and cool when Kennedy was alive was gone 5 minutes later.
All of a sudden, not cool anymore.
And within a couple years, it was like the birth of oldies radio, because those people who probably would have been in their 20s were out of step by the time they were 28, 29 years old.
So they needed their own fucking, I don't like this new stuff.
Yeah, there was kind of Mad Men guy. They suddenly turned around and people had long hair and beards and were smoking pot, and no one got it.
I've asked my dad about the Beatles. He was, relatively young when they came to America, and he was right on the fucking border. He was a Frank Sinatra guy. But people that were a year younger than him were Beatles people.
Yeah.
It was that drastic. He never went from Sinatra to the Beatles.
And a lot of those guys were the same age as the Beatles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Beatles played the people that were like a little bit younger to them.
Right.
But the guys that were actually the same age as the Beatles, they weren't into that shit at all.
Yeah, my
and they
dad was
never were hip again.
He was only
for the rest of their life.
Right.
He was only a few years older than the Beatles, but he was all about Sinatra and fucking Perry Como and all that crap.
That's a great point about Kennedy. I wonder if people just wanted to shut the gate.
Just
It
changed
was
everything.
everything was so sad. You wanted to be reminded of nothing. It was just like, fuck this, close the door and move on.
And it's like, it was almost like one of those things where a tragedy happens to a person and they just stop enjoying themselves. It was almost like an entire generation of the country, because this was the young president. This is the young president that we elected. This is our time. And the second he died, they all felt really old. And they all felt, and their kids just started screaming at them, that you fucking loser.
Wow.
They're like, what?
Well, we got Jimmy James from Brooklyn. He's saying that his old man worked for JFK.
What?
JJ.
Hey, boys, what's up? How are you? This is a great show. Ronnie, you with the boys in the morning, it's a breath of fresh air. I love it. You feel like $1 million.
He's saying that he's not a fan of yours.
Oh, boy.
What? Who that? What?
Right.
Just kidding, dude.
Anyway, so my old man worked for many years ago when he was a crooked politician in Massachusetts. But back in the day, Kennedy used to whore out his girls on like every other week. He used to go down to the Cape and have like a lineup of chicks that my old man would have to bring in from Brooklyn, and they'd stay the whole weekend with him, and he'd have his choice of which one. It was unbelievable.
Why? Because Kennedy couldn't get his own chicks?
No, these were dirty, filthy chicks from New York that he loved.
I don't think he could go out and get his own chicks, no.
No?
I mean, even though...
He would stand outside the Carlisle with his cock out. But we just walk and touch it.
Yeah, but even when he was a senator, everyone knew him. I mean, he's got to have that. Even though the press were a lot cooler back then, I would assume he had to have people set that shit up for him.
And he played cards with a lot of guys that started sort of Little Italy in Massachusetts, like Tony's Pier 1. Those guys were buddies with him, and it was always they'd meet at a very...
This guy's pop told him some stories.
Right. Well, is your pop in the mafia there?
I'm not going to say.
I know.
Every fucking guinea from Boston, or
right.
They're all, hey, your numbers runner. They all had some connection to the fucking mob.
You know that guy?
Yeah.
That guy.
Well, thank you, sir.
All right.
Yes.
I did get to meet his brain tissue also after the fact. It was a very interesting conversation. Brain tissue? No.
I didn't hear what you said, dude. Your phone's crapping out.
What did you say? JJ, what did you say?
Brain tissue.
What's that? Your phone stinks, dude.
You hung up.
Oh. Wow.
That was amazing.
Kennedy could fuck so many chicks because he never fucked for more than 28 seconds at a time. That was his record.
28 seconds.
You ever hear that they all say that? It's like he was in and out. Like, thanks. What? That was it?
Yeah. Well, he grabbed up that Mimi Beardsley chick. That,
Sure.
Yeah. She was, an intern?
She was a 17-year-old intern.
Oh, man.
And fucking, Jack was chatting with her at the pool, and then eventually 2 weeks later, he's fucking taking her virginity with his fucking sweaty shirt and his back brace, just plowing her when fucking Jackie's away.
Yeah.
And then he had her suck Dave Powers' cock in the pool. Jack Kennedy
Load that
ruled.
picture up so we could see a little bit.
She was pretty, man.
Let's see. That's
was
Mimi
all right.
Beardsley.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, she. That's his type.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
She was cute.
She looks
The
like-
eyebrows are a little bushy.
Well,
I think
you
she
know.
So did Jackie, though. She was like Greek.
She does look a little like Jackie.
All right.
I think this looks like John.
Little John in there, yeah.
in the summer in Hyannisport.
Yes, it's funny.
His little
Let
short
his hair
suit,
grow out a little bit.
tiny short suit, and he's saluting.
He was fucking Leif Garrett. She was dating him when he died. I mean, that was, the whole, for a year and a half they had an affair.
Dating?
Yeah, I mean, like,
Dating
literally
the married president of the United
He was
States.
fucking her for a long time, man.
Yeah?
Jack was putting it to her.
She looks like she's in 9th grade.
Yeah, that
Looks
really
really
is
young.
a young-looking picture.
Just
Yeah.
took her upstairs. I think he just started kissing her, sat her down, pulled his cock out, began taking her clothes off.
What are we gonna do with this?
Yeah, if he wasn't intimidated by Khrushchev, he wasn't gonna let this little fucking nothing.
50 years ago today,
Yeah,
President railed her.
You will suck my dick by the end of the decade and do those other things.
yeah,
Not because my dick is soft, but because it is hard.
yes. And he would talk dirty. He was a cuckold. Tell me what you'd do if they could drink out of the same fountain. I'd sit at the counter and have lunch with them.
Funniest thing ever.
Oh, shit.
All right, well, that sucked. To hear the Opie and Anthony Show 5 days a week live on satellite radio, online on your phone or tablet, or even on demand, go to SiriusXM.com. Also, interact with the Opie and Anthony Show on Twitter, @Opie Radio, @Anthony Cumia, and @Jim Norton.